you are going to have to move into an instinctual way of operating rather than making decisions based on information coming outside of yourself. And so, in the past, metaphorically, if you were driving in a car and you were listening to the GPS and it was guiding you to your destination, what is happening now is an infiltration of that information has shifted, and many are becoming aware that how it is guiding is not necessarily in alignment with integrity or truth. And so they are going inward into their own navigational system, into their own instincts, into their own intuitive knowing, and as to where it is that they are going and how it is that they are going to get there, and trusting in that process. All right, welcome everybody to our Wednesday call. I'm Kelly. I'm known as the Angel Lady, and I'm going to channel the Angel Raphael today. We are approaching a partial solar eclipse and also the fall equinox. And I don't know about you, but wow, it's a lot energetically to navigate. I have found myself personally being incredibly overly reactive and emotional the last few days. The energy is so much, probably depending on where it's falling in your chart, maybe affecting you more than others. And we're entering into the equinox, which happens to not just only be right after the partial solar eclipse, also happens to be on a new moon, also happens to be on the 22nd, which when we're going into an equinox, it's the balance of the light and the dark within equal parts. It's on a mirrored day. Then we're entering into the mirror workshop. So it's a lot of self-reflection, a lot of polarized energies that we're seeing all over the planet acting out. And as we step through the equinox, that energy, I'm so excited, is going to harmonize more. And it's going to really support us in passing through this 0 point between the polarities of these two energies and start to come more into a coherent field. Does that mean that the rest of the year until we hit that winter solstice where we feel another huge momentous birthing of consciousness will take place means it's going to be an easy ride? I don't think so. What I'm receiving from Archangel Raphael is that the energy is building and intensifying, and we're all feeling that. So I really encourage everybody to be gentle with yourselves, to have practices in place for self-love, self-care, take good care of yourself, ground, all those things that you know how to do. We will be gathering on Monday as a community. It is pay as you wish, so everybody is welcome and invited. I encourage you to register and to be with us at 11:11 a.m. on the 22nd on the fall equinox, which is on the new moon, because it is a very potent and powerful moment. And we're going to be receiving and integrating energies and turning on keys in our DNA, working with 24 very primal, creational, and then elemental and cosmic star beings that are going to be working with us to bring us into more of a harmonic frequency, to really support us as we enter into this last trimester, in a sense, is what as they explain it, for the remainder of the year. So I'll channel today. We'll just kind of tune into some of those energies. Please make sure, if you're planning to be there on Monday, that you register soon, because sometimes we meet capacity on Zoom. And other than that, we'll move in then on Tuesday to the mirror workshop, where we're going to really be in this beautiful reflective place, and connect with these deep goddesses that are creational, and very primal and raw. And then with our elemental self and play in the woods together and make beautiful things and art and then connect with ourselves as the cosmic star beings that we are. So maybe you see yourself like I feel like I'm a Lyran, or somebody else might feel like a Pleiadian, or different energies. And we're going to work with them and invite them to come in, and then we're going to play and create things with it. So that will be really fun. All right, I think that's the announcements, and with that, I will channel. Mm, okay. Hmm. Ah. Oh, 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 hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello, hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello, hello. We are very delighted to be here with all of you in this now moment, recognizing that there is a lot unfolding and continues to on your planet as our transmissions, energy, and vibration is here to support and to soothe you through the unfolding of this process. And so, what is it you're wanting to talk about?
So Raphael, there's a lot happening with this solar eclipse and the fall equinox energy, and we were wondering if you would share your perspective on what's going on and what is the best way to surf these waves that many people are experiencing.
Well, it is an enormous exercise in letting go and of surrendering, because it is anything within your energetic field and layers of wounds and energies that are within your energetic body that are heavy or weighted down or that have been carried with you from lifetime after lifetime are surfacing. And so it is a peeling away, it is a dissolving, it is a releasing, it is a letting go, it is a purging of these energies. They are reintegrated into the whole. And as this is occurring, a lightness
Come
begins.
ajuda.
Ah,
Olha, eu tenho uma coisa para cá,
Okay,
uma coisa para cá, informar,
make
isso
sure
que
that we're
eu estou
muted.
falando.
I don't know
ah,
how this is happening.
ah.
Okay. Wild.
Well, this is a perfect example of what many of you are experiencing, which is a feeling of infiltration or an energy that is disruptive or is energetically overwhelming or pulsing at you or coming in from nowhere with a feeling of lack of control. And it is that everything is, in a sense, bombarding you on coming in at every level physically, where many are experiencing physical issues in their body as their body is begging them to come back into balance and to calibration. Many are experiencing upheaval in the emotional body as old frequencies and energies that are asking and to be released are coming to the surface, and a lot is occurring in the mental mind, in which you are all being invited to let go of your concrete beliefs that are rigid and that are stuck in a particular ideology or thought form in which you have to be right or wrong, and the energies in the spiritual realm and those ideologies around how it is that you achieve or move into a state of oneness and enlightenment also need to be released. So it is a letting go of an attachment in the mind, in the spirit, and an attachment in the emotion, and an attachment in many regards, even within the physical form itself of how it is that you think you should be or feel or look. And so an enormous amount of letting go is required during this time, and a surrendering into the ideas of how you perceive that things should be unfolding or behaving. And in addition to that, there is a lot of energy that is approaching your planet. And as this energy is coming in from the galactic realms, it is not always easy to assimilate, although it is of high intelligence and it is carrying incredibly beautiful codes. And there has been a great calling for its arrival at this time in the support of all of you. It is creating a quickening because it is needed. But this quickening at times can feel overwhelming within the energetic, physical, emotional, and mental and spiritual body to calibrate to. And so many of you might be experiencing starting to move forward with a project and then getting pushed back, or going to the store, not being able to even get out of the car, or make a decision toward something, or a feeling of wanting to just hide and to be under the covers, and to perhaps it will just pass and somehow go away. And so much is a coming up, and there is a feeling inside of a wanting to hibernate, to cocoon, to retreat, to create a safety net, to be grounded in specific spaces and places in order to feel into this energy. And so it is extraordinarily important to attune to your instincts, your intuitive knowing, your energetic field, regardless of the outside noise that you may be hearing all around, to disconnect from information that is bombarding you with things that they are out of your control, and to really deeply go inward into a space of self-reflection, a space of stillness, a place of nature, and an attunement to the core of your energetic field, to the core of your essence, to the authentic aspects and the true revealing self of who you are in a very vulnerable, almost in raw way, to open up the space and the willingness to release any resistance in the process that is needed now for the releasing of attachment, so that you may surrender to the unfolding of the momentum that is carrying all of you at this time, that will continue to accelerate. And so, in order to be able to stabilize yourself through this acceleration process, it will require coming into the center, into the breath, into the spaciousness of the presence of each moment, opening up the heart and releasing, releasing, releasing a need for control, an opening to the surrendering process of trusting in the divine, in the highest aspect of yourself, and a turning over to the unfoldment of recognizing that what is occurring, although happening at rapid pace, may feel overwhelming. It is dissolving and releasing dense energies that have been accumulated within the energetic field for many lifetimes, that are now not only coming up for review, but are coming back into coherence as you are returning into a higher, lighter state within your energetic body.
Thank you, Raphael. Whew. So, as we make this transition, something that you've spoken of in the past is the changing of the guard. How is this related to this big shift that's happening right now and the transmutation of this density?
Oh. Well, you're passing through the equinox. You're passing through the center point of the polarities of both energies. You have been operating and leaning in one direction, in a particular way of operating within your field. And that is shifting, just as we shared with all of you as you are moving through the light code of the violet flame, and a transition was occurring, and this much more primal energy, this deeply feminine creational energy was rising up from underneath the surface and coming in and flooding the planet at this time, it will mean that whatever it is that was in alignment with a particular way of being that was deeply based in the hierarchy of formation will shift. And so how that will look is that many of your leaders will change. Different ones will rise up, and ones in which you've had for a while will fall away. Things will be changing in systems, very much a changing of the guard in which how things at the core are operating. You might find on a personal level that in the dynamics of your family, that there might be a change. Perhaps one person was the matriarch, and that might be shifting over to someone else, or new children and babies will be arriving. Roles and dynamics will be shifting. And so a changing of the guard on a global scale and on a personal scale and on an energetic scale and even in the cosmos of a creational scale and deeply within the cosmic vibrations is all shifting. So as you are moving through this ascension process, I mean, even now the planets are changing guards. They are all shifting rapidly. And so there is a turning over. And in that turning over process, which you are right smack in the middle of at this moment in time, there is a transition period where the old has to let go and relinquish its control. And the new has to begin to feel into the role it's stepping into, what it feels like. And the operating system has to be upgraded. And so it's like having all these tabs that were open are closing. And as they are closing, you're stepping into a blank screen and you are opening up new tabs. But there is an onboarding process that needs to take place to facilitate this change. And so, in order for you to adapt to this change, many of you are feeling uncomfortable or unable to navigate yourself, as if your navigational systems are off and you are not being guided in the direction of where you're going in the way in which you are accustomed to before, because you are going to have to move into an instinctual way of operating rather than making decisions based on information coming outside of yourself. And so in the past, metaphorically, if you were driving in a car and you were listening to the GPS and it was guiding you to your destination, what is happening now is an infiltration of that information has shifted, and many are becoming aware that how it is guiding is not necessarily in alignment with integrity or truth. And so they are going inward into their own navigational system, into their own instincts, into their own intuitive knowing. Now, as to where it is that they are going and how it is that they are going to get there, and trusting in that process and releasing the operating system in which they have used to navigate their way to specific destinations in the past. And so this then can take time because you have to bring on board gifts, talents, capabilities that are now coming alive within the human at this time on your planet. But just because they've been turned on, it's like you're infants. You don't know how to use them or what to do with them. And so circumstances outside in your reality are bombarding you, which are forcing you to hone in on and to refine these aspects, these qualities, as you come more and more into the recognition of your own innate wisdom, intelligence that resides within you, your own divinity, your own power, your own sovereignty. And so you're in this transitional period between the old and the new. And as you pass through the equinox, you're passing through into the center point between the two as you begin to integrate the energies that are both cosmic and creational within the center of your own heart.
Wow. Thank you so much, Raphael. We're going to open it up to questions. We're going to go with Esther first. All right, see if you can unmute yourself now.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Um, My question is about Reiki healing and Reiki symbols, and also our diverse writing systems and their origins. So, Mikao Usui is named as the rediscoverer of Reiki, and it was adapted for the West. And traditional Japanese Reiki can be traced back to Buddhism, I've heard. But I was thinking, what about going even further back? And now that light language is more well known, many more people are receiving sacred geometry symbols and light language codes, which may have similar healing or activating qualities to to Reiki symbols. So, what are the galactic origins of Reiki? Is what I was wondering about, and writing systems like especially kanji and Sanskrit, but many others. And what is the connection between all these?
Oh, well, they cannot be separated. They are all interwoven as one and the same, and yet through the lens of the human experience, one likes to identify them in a specific way. But this is simply tapping into this universal innate energy that has the capacity to bring through the purity of healing frequency and transmit it through the hands, utilizing ancient wisdom and symbols to navigate these processes, and they are coming online in many different ways. And they are, and their origins have always been deeply galactic and are connected to places, energies, and times in which this was second nature to you. It wasn't a phenomenon of something special or that one needed to be trained in or to learn about. It was just as second nature as it is now to all of you on how to read and to open up the letters that are in a book, and that when you put those letters together, they make specific sounds, and then those sounds create words, and those words create sentences, and a story is formed in an image of a creation through the sequencing of those letters, create something in which it can be understood. And it is the same. It is just as innate and primal and understood on a galactic realm with these symbols of information that when they are placed in specific sequences and used in certain ways, especially when you align them with sound or with mantra, that their capacities and capabilities that have been suppressed within the human understanding are arising again, like many gifts coming back online. And so there are different formulas and different ways to do this, just like in the language, there are different alphabets, and some are Sanskrit and some are letters, and some are written in symbols, whether it is Japanese or it is Arabic or it is English. But ultimately, they are telling a story. They are stringing together energies in order to bring forward information. And so the same is true with this healing frequency. It can be brought through in different ways and in different sequences, and depending upon its intent and its amplification from the ancient teachings in which it arrives from, its capacity for healing can be more profound than at other times. But in addition, it is not simply those who are receiving the transmission of the energy and information in which they are sharing, but it is the one who is receiving it, the receptivity and the willingness to integrate it within their field to create wholeness. And so this Reiki that you speak of is a part of your innate birthright to use and to connect to. And so many are aware of it, and more will become so, but it will eventually just be very second nature that everyone does and can do, just like all of you can read.
Thank
Mm,
you.
I love that. All right, Lucy.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. um, I would love to ask about water. I know that Raphael has spoken in the past about the importance that water carries in our ascension as it brings forth wisdom and light codes and cleansing and awakening and many other beautiful gifts. And I've also heard Raphael speak about the importance of pyramid structures and how they were used with ancient technology. And we here on our land have a water portal that fully structures the water, and it's a glass ampule that sits underneath a copper pyramid structure. And I would love to know, for everybody that would like to support the waters, working with her to support humanity as a collective, how that can be amplified through toning and sound. Because I know that Raphael has also spoken about toning, and I'm not sure if that's with 432 or if it's a natural process, or if you could share anything that would be helpful in us to support the waters themselves, and then the collective as they receive the transmission from the waters and rivers and oceans and within our bodies.
We are calibrating to this water that you are speaking of, where it is that you are with the pyramid, and orienting its structure for amplification at this time. If you are listening, you almost sound as if you are underwater, and you are carrying a very powerful energetic water code as you are here to facilitate the awakening, the attunement, the restructuring of water on many levels. And although we recognize through these transmission, it is not to address any of you on a personal level. This is of importance because it is that the water is essential in your ascension process. It is essential in the awakening of your consciousness as a species. And it is that sound is the most primordial, powerful creational frequency, and that it is not just the sound of that you are speaking of, a specific hertz frequency that you listen to or attune to, but it is the internal, authentic, true, primal sounds that must rise from deep within the energetic body in alignment with true intent and intention for unity, for love, for compassion, for presence within the structure of the water, as it then is amplified through the structures of geometry, as the pyramid is one of the most powerful amplifiers, as is the copper, as is the gold, as is many energies that are coming into awareness at this time. And to, through that intention, recognize that it is one of the most powerful, most potent things that any and all of you can do at this time to facilitate the healing of your planet, the unification of your planet, the recalibration, the harmonization, the coherent vibration of your earth. And that through your conscious intent, through your willingness to take the time to make your sounds over the water, to love the water, to merge with the water, to communicate with the water, to bathe in it, to feel it, to sense it, to attune to it, so that it may come into an imprint and a mirrored reflection of your consciousness within its highest present state at any given moment, and then share that droplet of energy as it passes through the systems around the globe, is one of the quickest and fastest ways that you can bring this planet back into balance. And it is something that everyone on the planet, everyone can do. And it doesn't take much time or much energy or much effort, just simply a willingness and an intention. And if all of you around the planet began to do this regularly, you would see a shift in the plants. You would see a shift in your food. You would see a shift in your crops. You would see a shift in your body. You would see shifts in everything, in the consciousness, in your wars, in everything on your planet would start to harmonize, because it is something that connects and weaves all of you together, and it is operating in the largest percentage within your body and on your planet. And it is all connected. You cannot separate one drop of water from the whole. And so when your intention, your consciousness, your energy is amplifying it through your primal sound in alignment with your intention, and it weaves itself and merges with the rest of the droplets on the planet, it has no choice other than to mirror the reflection of that frequency, which then is the greatest way that you can accelerate and move and pass through this process that you are all experiencing at this time. And so we are very happy that you specifically at this time have brought this to our attention for others to understand and that are working with it to amplify it through structure, through sound, and through rhythm.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Nicole.
Hello, Raphael. Um, I've
Hello.
hello. I've been meditating for some time and been exploring how to connect more deeply with my monad. And could you explain a bit more about the monad and share some guidance on how I might strengthen the connection?
Well, the monad can be defined in different ways depending upon how you are attuning to it as a singularity, which is the oversoul, in which you are aligning with, in which then diversifies and fragments into pieces that are thought of as your nomad family or tribal energies in which you circulate through lifetimes and experiences to come into alignment and wholeness within your own self. To attune to it is no different than attuning to the I am that I am presence or the aspect of self closest to source itself through the intention of it arriving, inviting it into your energetic space and beginning to merge with it as it appears. It is wanting to remind all of you that the appearance of energies, and we will be working with this in the mirror workshop, can arrive and appear to you as archetypes, as energies, as beings in which you can align with, feel, sense, know, touch, merge with, in order to come back into wholeness and completion with. However, it simply requires practice, intent, concentration, and consecration of energies and tools and understandings about how to do this. However, we could go into great detail around this. That would be an unfolding of many lessons and teachings, which perhaps we will do for all of you at some point, and we'll go over this during our mirror time together, coming up in the coming days as you are connecting, because it's integrating every single aspect that has ever played itself out as you in any frequency at any time, coming into wholeness as one vibration.
Thank you. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Tatiana.
Hi, Raphael.
Hello, hello.
My question is, if any, what is the difference between guides, angels, and galactic beings of light? And if there is a difference, when is it best to work with which or to call in which?
Well, we are different, and yet we are all the same.
Mm.
Just as you are all different and you are all the same. But for the idea of this purpose of the question which you are asking, if you are traditionally to attune to us, although we are collectively merging more and more, and often when you hear me speaking, I speak of myself in terms of a we, because I am a collective attuned to the vibration of the angelic realm itself, in which we are all here in assisting. However, I can integrate within my energetic field energies that are coming from other star systems and align with them, blend my frequency, and share their information as just as much as I can attune to what you would call personal guides that are on the plane field as well, and attune to receiving their energy and blending in order to share information and messages. When you are attuning to a guide, it is often one that is assisting you as a messenger, that has you been assigned in a sense energetically to you to support you along your journey. And some of you may feel this guide, or as a child, you may have a name for them, like your friend, and you may sense their presence. And they are dealing with more practical aspects of things that are occurring and assisting you on a daily basis. From the angelic realm, we are coming in, although we do not like to speak as something being greater or less than, in a bit of a higher frequency, should we say. So we're not embodying and nor have embodied in physical form. And so we're able to carry a different vibration that is able to assist on an energetic level in spaces and places that those who have incarnated and are carrying the blueprint of that vibration are not able to. And so if you are seeking something in particular, such as my ray of energy, which is here for the supporting of physical healing, emotional and mental healing, you may call upon me, which would be different than necessarily asking for that assistance, particularly from a guide, although they may guide you in a direction of an unfoldment that will support you in your own healing. The cosmic or star energies or beings are often threaded through your umbilical cord in which you are connected to, because you often are operating in a parallel experience or reality and other star systems attuned to the collective of frequencies, not only which you have embodied and been present with before, but that you are still connected to, but have amnesia or a forgetting of your relationship with them as they are attuning to you from their perspective, and you are operating within the linear field of the human experience and yet still tethered to them, in which you can call upon them like a home family or your homeland or home planet, where beings of a very high frequency that you are aligned with can support you of the overall blueprint and the unfolding of your human experience, your mission and purpose in this experience of what is in alignment or within your own choosing of what you have chosen to do to support you in reconnecting with that destiny, with that remembering, so that you can carry out that which you have chosen to carry out without such a deep forgetting of what that is.
Thank you, Raphael.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yasmin.
Hear me? Yes.
Hello. Hey.
Hi. Thank you for taking my question. I was wondering if you could share a little of your guidance on how flowers are here to serve humanity by being carriers of light, while also helping to bring forward our human consciousness. And in particular, if you could speak a little bit about how best to utilize flower essences in this way so we can move forward with more consciousness in these times.
Oh, we are delighted to attune to you, for you are a flower, and carry that consciousness and are connecting with them more as they are awakening inside of you, just as a calibration to their vibration, in which we will be attuning to as we are working with the mirrors, such as the elemental beings that are rising on the planet. And when you are thinking about elemental beings, you might think about fairies or elves or energies of this sort, but the flowers themselves are part of the elemental kingdom, and they are becoming more perceptible in their presence, in their fragrance, in their healing qualities, in their geometries, in their frequencies, and their beauty and harmonization that they bring to the planet. And of course, the pollination that takes place and the fertilization, for they are of enormous importance in the expansion and the beauty around your planet, not just in them in particular, but their interaction in the ecosystem as a whole. And so these essences that you are speaking of are that. They are the essence of a particular geometric pattern, color, sound, fragrance, and frequency that is elemental, that it has qualities that, when fully honored and recognized, has the capacity to bring healing into the body, to work with emotion, to clear the mental mind, to open up to the spirit, and more. And so, just as the water is becoming more, making itself more known to all of you, The elements themselves, fire will make itself more known to you in the coming times. The air and the wind, the earth, the soil, the flowers, the trees, the stones, all of them are coming more and more alive. And so you carry a quality as a guardian, in a sense, as a keeper of the flowers, and to promote an awareness, to bring light to the recognition, not to just pass them by, but to the saying that you all have to stop and smell the roses, to take a moment to come into the presence of the blooming and the unfolding of the miraculous, spectacular beauty that they carry and the qualities that they share.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Janet.
Hi there. Can you hear me? Hello.
Hello, hello.
Oh, what a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for taking my question. As a light worker in a healing community, could you please guide us in our role when we become aware of an individual or family's trauma and negative entities behind ancestral trauma, abuse, and addiction? Many of us see the impact of the trauma 7 or more generations back and the same forward, as well as seeing dark entities and influences that cloud all of this circumstance. Is the pain the individual or the families alone to heal? What role might light workers and healers play as channels to help these traumas for the collective?
Well, whenever, of course, you create healing within an ancestral lineage, it heals it and it weaves through the collective. However, it is important, although we understand that this is something that is deeply programmed within the psyche, to label specific energies as dark or negative. But it is that in itself that feeds their energy, amplifies them, and maintains their vibration energetically as wounds within the field. And so it is a bringing a balance and a willingness to reflect and to look into the eyes of what is seen or labeled as dark, and to bring compassion, healing, to spiral into the core, to the essence of the origin of the unfolding where the wound arrived from, and to integrate it back into the whole rather than to get rid of it, to separate it, or to see it as dark or negative entities that are lurking somewhere that one needs to sever from. And so we encourage you to and others, although difficult because the energies can be weighted down and heavy, and fearful to face. It is not that every one is ready to do that facing, and then to bring that, come to a state of forgiveness, come to a state of compassion, come into a place of integration. And that's why it continues to pass through many generations until it comes across within a one who is able to face it, to heal it, to integrate it, to love it, to forgive it. And when that is done, it ripples through the collective, and that particular energetic wound that is carried and that has been carried, that is then healed within the ancestral lineage, heals it within the collective as a whole.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Oh, what is it?
Julia.
Hello?
Hello.
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 Yes, I have concerns with recommendations on intercessory prayer, particularly myself concerned with an unborn baby grandchild. The mother has dealt with a lot of trauma, addiction. How beneficial is the intercessory prayer, and are there special recommendations regarding even other family members dealing with very painful, traumatic things. I guess I hate feeling somewhat helpless in observing these situations. It weighs heavily on me. And just some guidance in that area, please.
Oh, it is extraordinarily powerful when it comes from a pure intent. When it comes from a place of not a need to fix or for it to be other than it is, but simply to love completely and absolutely, really, really love all of it. Then that prayer in itself, without an agenda, although it may appear that prayer has an agenda because you are praying for something. But when you are literally holding a sacred container of frequency, of love for the unfolding, for whatever that may be, for its absolute highest good, for all parties involved, and a willingness to let go of what that outcome is, not knowing the soul's journey or the purpose for whatever it is that they are experiencing and the unfoldment of their frequency. And you truly are able to maintain that sense of neutrality in a frequency of love on part of them through that light inside of you in that pure sense, then it has an enormous, powerful, potent, energetic imprint and ability to bring wholeness and healing.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Lynn Michael.
Hi. Hello, Raphael, Kelly.
Hello.
Thank you for your time today. I feel very honored to be with this group. As we are transitioning and moving forward, and we see the old guard change, yet there are the individuals and families of folks who are have experienced trauma in regards to legalities of being discriminated against. How can we best help our brothers and sisters who are being who feel the fear and the pain from that? And will this, when the changing of the guard happens, will our environment shift and those kind of issues like dissipate?
Well, it is when you come back into balance in the recognition and the perception that everyone is yourself.
Mm.
And when you are harming another or acting in an aggressive way or emanating fear, that fear mirrors back like a boomerang and then it amplifies within the field of the collective. And so it is that as the energies that we are speak of are approaching rapidly your planet, which we will move into deeper discussion at a later time, they are creating a spaciousness for that mirror that is being amplified within all of you to start to recognize that it is not through the idea or the position of one against another, or the idea that one is right or one is wrong, or that you are left or that you are right, or that you are black or that you are brown or that you are white, or that you're Republican or that you are Democrat, or whatever it is that these ridiculous ideas that you all are so steadily ingrained and entrenched in the ideas and the beliefs around, but to begin to see each other as brothers, as sisters, of a pure heart with compassion and understanding, and a willingness to bring love and to bring harmony and to open up space for the possibility of this within one another. That not until then will this healing occur. And so it must start, although it may seem counterintuitive, because one may want to go and change something or speak out of something or rescue someone from a situation. And although those acts may be needed at any given time, it is the important to look in the mirror and to see where one is holding prejudice, where one is in another, and to come into a harmonic frequency around that within themselves. So whatever is playing out in the mirror, whatever is presenting itself on the world stage that is being amplified, that then another may be labeling as bad or negative or horrible. What is the amplification of that frequency that, even in a minuscule way or on a more personal level, is residing within another, within oneself, with the capacity to bring compassion to that? Then that energetic hologram collapses. And so it is that when one then digs its feet in deeply into a particular way of how it should be, it actually anchors in the hologram more, and it perpetuates and amplifies it. And it is seems difficult because it is natural to want to do something, and doing things is an active participation, vital and important. But the consciousness itself has to come back into a place of unity in the recognition of whatever it is that is being perceived or being witnessed by any and all of you outside of self that you are condemning. Where is that vibration still, even on a small level, operating within one's own energetic field? And it is in the compassion for that that the hologram itself dissolves, collapses back into the unified field.
Thank you so very much. I certainly appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, thank you, Pat.
Can you hear me? Hi.
Hello.
Hi. For as long as I can remember, I feel that I am here to experience heaven on earth. Now that the energy is shifting, I feel that I'm a part of this, bringing it in. And I wanted to, when I say heaven on earth, I mean where we're all in unity, transparency, love, authenticity, community, where we support each other. And now that I see that actually starting to develop, is that something that's going to happen? And will someone that's 72 like myself actually see it come to fruition?
Oh, yes. Yes, it is that you will see it come to fruition, for it is your focus and your intent, and it will be your reality. And it is occurring and it is taking place, although not always perceived in everyone's reality as true. But as you each continue to look for it and see that it is there, it will amplify. And so it is a perfect reminder in the direction of one's intention and focus and the power of amplification, especially during this time where everything is mirroring and amplifying itself. And so, as your focus and intent is heaven on earth, you will start to see heaven on earth. And that will be your mirrored reflection within your own holographic field of your reality. And with the intended knowing that that will occur within your lifetime or at the age of 72 or tomorrow, then it will, because that is what it is that you are looking for.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. We think that's all for today. All right. Mm. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you so much for being here and asking such beautiful, beautiful questions. We love our community. We love you. Hang in there through this eclipse frequency. We'll see you in the fall equinox transmission on Monday at 11:11 a.m. Stay grounded, drink lots of water, focus on, like that last question, heaven on earth, where we put our energy and attention, what we look for. We all know the old story, right? It amplifies. Okay, sending lots of love to all of you. Have a beautiful weekend. I'll see everybody on Monday. All right. And hang in there through the eclipse weekend. Don't do anything too wild and crazy. Stay home.